news now, right? And I've got it. Do you guys want some good news tonight? Yeah? All right. I finally have good news. This is the good news. The good news is I found out today that the numbers are finally going down of people pursuing their dreams. And I think that's good, right? Too many big dreamers in the world. We need to get one big reality check, right? For the entire world. I used to be one of them. I used to be a really big dreamer. I used to be like, when I make it, I'm gonna have a beautiful house in Malibu. You know, I had a real clear vision of my vision board if I had made one. And maybe that was a problem. I never made the board to go with the vision. But if I had, it would have this beautiful house, all glass windows. You know, I pictured myself waking up every morning, going out and gazing at this beautiful ocean view. And now I'm like, when I make it, I'm gonna get a headboard for my bed. A real firm one, no IKEA shit, the real deal. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll be like, I'm a grown-up now, I've got a headboard. I think my problem is my parents were too supportive, right? You want supportive parents to a point, but you don't want them too supportive. Like if I had kids now, I'd be like, you know what you're good at, Johnny? You're good at stocking the fridge. You put that milk away next to the eggs, and if you get really ambitious, I want you to run a lap around the house and then deliver the milk to the front door, and maybe you'll work for Amazon one day. But my parents were the opposite. My mom's a violinist, so she's always been a dreamer, artist type, and she's always like, honey, just find what you love to do, and the money will follow. And I'm like, okay, but how far back is it following? Right? Like, are we talking 10 years, 20 years? Is this some karmic life lesson that in this lifetime I'll be broke and in a future lifetime I'll have a headboard? And she was like, honey, you're not our problem anymore. Plus, you owe us $1,000, so maybe hold off on the headboard. She's always comparing me to people. Like, once she was like, you know who you're like, Erica? You're just like Grandma. Because you're in a male-dominated profession with stand-up comedy, and Grandma was in a male-dominated profession with aeronautical engineering. I was like, yeah, we're pretty much the same person. Except one of us was very good at math, and the other owns one towel. Besides that, we're both killing it. Then she was like, I'm just so relieved you were never involved with Harvey Weinstein. She's like, I know you weren't, because I told your father if she had been, she'd be a lot more successful. But honey, you can sleep at night. And I was like, actually, I can't because my mattress is really uncomfortable. I can't really afford a new one, but I get what you're trying to say. Thank you. It's been an interesting time for men, right? Lots of learning. Been one guy over there is like, yep, I'm learning. I'm learning a lot. Not a great time to be a creepy male comic. Right? So not a great time to be a male comic. So not a great time to be a male, is the point. I think for me, what shocked me the most about the whole Me Too movement was just how shocked we were by the fact that men are gross. Right? Like, that's not that shocking. That was one of the first things I learned as a kid. Eat your broccoli, men are gross. Right? And then this year, we all woke up every morning and we were like, did you hear? Did you hear another man was gross again? And I'm like, I'm just not that shocked. Like, tell me something I don't know, right? And every day it was like another one and another one. Every day was like, you know, Christmas Me Too morning. And now I think it's just gonna be the who's left movement. Like, is anybody left? Did anybody not do something gross? Did anybody not jerk off into a succulent? If every car could be like this car, I think we really have a good audience reaction. I think everyone should be a convertible from now on. There's 2 convertibles. Nice. Well done, guys. Your parents raised you well. That's the new headboard. I'm in my 30s now. Yeah, who's in their 30s? You wanna? Good. Good. It's a good age, right? It's a good age because your 30s is when you become a person, right? That's when you become a person. Your 20s, you try on different personality types. You're like, maybe I'm rocker chick, maybe I'm emo girl. And then you turn 30 and you just get your mom's haircut and call it a day. You're just like, I'm gonna be her for the rest of my life. Why fight it? And I don't think it's old, right? 30s isn't old, but we've decided as a society to start saying we're old. The second we turn 30, we're like, that's it, I'm old now, I'm old. And then for 10 years, we keep saying that. We're like, I'm old, I'm old, I'm old, I'm old. And then you turn 40, and you're like, now I'm old. Like, I could have been young for an extra 10 years, but I wasted it saying I was old. Now I've lost 10 extra years where I could have been young. Then you turn 80, you're like, now I'm really old. I could have been just kind of old, now I'm really old. Then you die and you're like, I could have been alive for 83 and a half years. Now I'm dead. I can't even have this brilliant thought. So the point is, none of us are old because we're still here, right? Still doing this life thing. 20s is good. I don't relate to it now because I'm like, you guys are so cute because you still think you matter. Right? The rest of your life's just going to be a very long journey where you find out you matter less and less and less every day, and then you die. Not to give it away, but that's what's coming up. I feel like you spend your 20s sort of waiting for your life to start, right? You're like, next year I'm going to get that big job, and my life is going to start. And then another year goes by and you're like, next year I'm gonna fall madly in love and my life is gonna get started. And then another year goes by and you're like, next year I'm gonna get 2 towels and my life is gonna start. And then you turn 30 and you're like, shit, it started. Like, this is my life. Like waiting for the bus to come, but you're already on the bus and you're like, when's the bus getting here? And they're like, you are on it, you are on the bus. And you're like, why am I riding a bus? I definitely don't want to go out as much in my 30s, right? Like, going out feels like kind of a big hassle. And I went to a bar the other night with my friend, and we lasted about 5 minutes, and we got bored. We're like, you want to go? Yeah, let's get out of here. And as we were walking to our cars, my friend was like, oh my God, Erica, we're getting older. We're not fun anymore. And I was like, no, that's not what's happening. Don't worry. It's not that we're not fun anymore. It's that we're getting older and we're getting wiser and we're starting to realize it was never fun. We just pretended this whole time. I hate if I'm going on a date or something and someone goes, Erica, just have fun and be yourself. Because for me, it's one or the other, right? Like, I can't do both at the same time. Like, I'll never be this girl, who posts a photo on Instagram in some fancy, Warrior 22 pose on top of a mountain, and there's like this beautiful sunset, and the caption, living the dream. I'm more the girl who posts a selfie from bed with the caption, can't get up. I want to do non-motivational quotes on Instagram, right? Which would go something like, just don't. Or there doesn't have to be another day. Or you can always live the life you imagined if you have a really shitty imagination. My friend wanted to get lunch the other day, but she's like, I'm vegan now. And I was like, uh-oh, here we go with that whole trend. I was like, do you want to go to Cafe Gratitude, the vegan restaurant? And she was like, well, I'm also gluten-free. so can we go to the juice bar? And I was like, how about we just never speak again? Let's just move on with our lives. I don't need to waste any more time figuring out where I'm not going to eat tomorrow. I have enough not on my plate. Then she's like, do you want to go out on a boat sometime? Like, she had a friend with a boat, and it was July 4th, and I was like, you've been on a boat before, right? Like, is that something we have to do twice in this lifetime? Because I don't think about the boat anymore. I overthink everything, so I think about all the steps that lead up to the boat, right? I'm like, I have to put my bathing suit on. Then I have to figure out who else is gonna be on the boat, and can I wear my bathing suit in front of the people on the boat? I have to do a whole research project on the people who are gonna be on the boat to determine if I can wear my bathing suit in front of them. And then I have to get to the boat. I'll probably get lost getting there because I'll take Waze, and Waze is gonna be like, try making this left turn, sucker. Then I'll get on the boat, not really want to be on the boat. Everyone else will probably not really want to be on the boat either, but they'll all be Instagram, Snapchat storying that they're on the boat because they want other people who aren't on the boat to wish that they were on the boat. So what I'd rather do, honestly, is just stay home, put my bathing suit on, get in the bathtub, put on My Heart Will Go On from Titanic, take a selfie, post it on Instagram, and label it Living the Real Dream. Hashtag just don't. She got a tattoo of a hummingbird she was really proud of. It was like this big hummingbird on her arm. And she's like, Erica, I just got a new tattoo of a hummingbird. Do you know what hummingbirds represent? And I was like, no, but I bet you're about to tell me. She's like, they represent change. And I was like, interesting. You know what doesn't usually represent change? Tattoos. Not usually a big symbol of change. I do think getting a tattoo is a little like having kids. You know, because it seems really cool when other people get them. But then you get one and you're like, shit, I have this forever now? Like, it's not going to be cute in 10 years. I thought I'd be married by now. You know, I was like, yeah, my 30s. I'll be married. I'll have kids. I'll have, you know, the headboard. But now I'm actually looking at the bright side for once, and I feel like if you are in your 30s and you're not married and you don't have kids, it's a little like breaking even in a casino. Right? Like you didn't win, but you didn't not win. Like you didn't totally fuck up your life, but you also don't really have one. My sister has two very cute kids. I'm an aunt, which I love, you know. You only have one job as an aunt. It's like you see the kids every year and you're like, whoa, you got so big. Wow, so big. And I have a very cute niece. Her name's Annabelle. She's 8. And my sister recently was like, I just want you to get married. Well, Annabelle would still make a cute flower girl. And I was like, I just want to get married before Annabelle gets married. That's my goal. I went to the dermatologist, and he was trying to sell me Botox. He said, go like this, and I was like this, and he's like, yep, you've got those lines. And then he's like, smile, and I was like, and he's like, yep, you've got those lines. And I was like, what if I just don't make those faces? Right? Like, what if I just stand very still with my face and don't emote too much? And he was like, how old are you? And I was like, 30. And he's like, do you have a boyfriend? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, have you thought about freezing your eggs? And I was like, first you want me to freeze my face? Now you want me to freeze my eggs? Like, the only thing I wish I froze was my self-esteem from before this appointment. My parents have been married a long time. They've been married for 43 years, which is amazing, right? Yeah. love you guys. Wow, this is cool. I've never loved honking before, but now I love it. Thank you, thanks. They've been married a long time. I always wonder, what makes a happy marriage, and sometimes I think it's just when the men almost never speak, right? Because they just get in trouble, like they want to be nice, they have good intentions, it comes out all wrong, right? I think my parents have been married that long because my dad loves my mom, and because he doesn't talk and she talks a lot. And I also think it's because my dad can't leave my mom because he's in a wheelchair. I mean, he loves her, but where is he gonna go, right? He'll get down the ramp, he'll be like, can you come pick me up? I've changed my mind. I'm not gonna run away with the nurse. He has MS, it's a neurological disease, and I found out they had an MS walk. And I was like, that just seems very disrespectful to me. So I went on it because I was like, I just want to see what all the fuss is about. And it's just thousands of people showing off what they can do. It's just very rude. My dad hates that joke too, and I'm always like, sorry, Dad, but when I have an idea, I run with it. Unlike some people I know. So you're just gonna have to roll with it. I do think it's important to still laugh at stuff like that, right? Because sometimes I'll do that joke and there'll be someone in the audience in a wheelchair and everyone will look at that person like, are they laughing? Like, we can't laugh if they're not laughing. And I'm like, you better fucking laugh, because otherwise it ruins the whole joke for everybody. And one time I did that joke and there was a guy, laughing hysterically. He was in the corner and he was in a wheelchair and he was laughing. And I pointed it out. I was like, see, he's laughing, right? Right, sir, you're laughing? And he's like, yep, I'm laughing. And after the show, he came up to me and he thanked me. And I said, you weren't offended at all, right? And he said, nope, wasn't offended at all about the wheelchair jokes. I was just offended that you called me sir because I'm a woman. I was like, you just can't win. You just can't win. No matter what you do, you're gonna offend somebody. My dad probably makes fun of himself more than anybody. Like, one time I was home, I was visiting my parents, and my mom was telling me I was very difficult as a kid. She was like, it was always like walking on eggshells with you. And my dad was sitting in the corner, and he just goes, I wish I could walk on eggshells. But yeah, I think we've gotten a little bit too PC, and I think that it's a problem, right? Because the problem is you're taking away the person's ability to laugh at themselves, which we really need, right? And I have a story I'll tell you, which to me really captures what I mean about being like a little too PC, which is I have a friend who has 2 hook hands. And you guys got silent, but maybe somebody in the back who was brave was laughing at that, right? Someone in the back might have been laughing. And that's okay. It's okay if you laughed at it, because it doesn't mean you hate people with hook hands, right? It just means you didn't think I was gonna say hook hands. That's all. That's all that means. So the first time I met the guy, I also didn't expect a hook, right? It sort of, kind of took me aback because he shook out the hook and I didn't see that coming. So I was like, what do I do in this situation? I'm not sure. Like, I've never been here before. Do I shake the hook? Do I not shake the hook? Do I hang my jacket on it? I'm not sure. So in the heat of the moment, I just decided I'm just going to pretend everything's fine, right? Just bottle up my emotions. I shook the hook, said, nice to meet you. And I walked away. And then I had a friend who was a comic, and he was on the same show with me. And then he got the hook. And when he got the hook, he goes, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? You gotta warn a guy. You gotta warn a guy before you just shove your cutlery in his face. And I was like, that was the right reaction. That's how I wish I had reacted, right? Because immediately the guy just looked so at peace, like, thank God someone's acknowledging the reality of the situation, not bottling it all up inside, pretending everything's fine. And we all had a good laugh and got on with it, right? So I feel like the moral of the story is, if you're ever uncomfortable, just freak the fuck out, make a big scene, and just get on with it. Because we're all human, right? We're all human. We all have flaws. We have to be able to laugh at ourselves, you know? That's what I think. I'd say the thing that I battle is depression. And I think that depressed people have had, I think it's been a hard time to be depressed right now, right? Are you guys, they're clapping. If you're a depressed person, this has been an even harder time because we used to be special. Right? We used to be special. You could call up a friend and be like, I'm so depressed. And your friend would be like, why, Erica? Tell me, what's going on? And now you call up a friend, you're like, I'm so depressed. And they're like, yeah, Erica, everybody's depressed. And you're like, no, but like I was depressed before all this happened, so I get like extra points for that. Like I'm like doubly depressed now. And your friend's like, no, Erica, we're all flatlined with the depression. Like we're all equally depressed now. The entire world is depressed. You're not special anymore. And then you're like, great, now I'm even more depressed. Sometimes I get so depressed I just want to lie in bed all day. But then I'm like, but is it lie in bed? Or is it lay in bed? Right? Because like a chicken lays an egg, but sleeping dogs lie. So do chickens lay and dogs lie? And then I'm like, okay, it's definitely time to get up. But you're not supposed to end a sentence with a preposition. So then I'm like, I might as well just stay in bed. But is it might as well or is it may as well? I think what I'm trying to say is I'm a really good lay. Or is that just a really big lie? I think this has also been a hard time for celebrities, right? Celebrities are having a hard time right now because we're all learning how boring they really are. Like I watched Sharon Stone's stay-at-home video when the whole thing was happening, and she was like, stay at home. They told me to tell you to stay at home. And I was like, is this helping? Like, really? Like, is there a guy named Greg in Idaho who was about to leave the house, and then he watched Sharon Stone's video and was like, stop everything, everybody out of the minivan, we're not going to Costco. Like, I just don't see how that was helping anything. I think we should just start making videos where we just go, stay offline. Just stay offline. We don't need your Imagine videos. We don't care what you have to say. Just take a break and stay offline. If Bob Dylan can do it, so can you. I watched Taylor Swift's documentary. I don't know if anyone... Who loves Taylor Swift? Honk if you love her. Wow. Okay. Yikes. Who doesn't get it? Okay. All right. So even. I'm sort of in the middle. Like I do respect her. I think she's like a powerhouse of a star. She's really talented. I love a couple of her songs, and my niece loves her, and I think she's a great role model for women. She's strong, she's talented, all those things. The only thing I question is whether she deserves a documentary, right? I mean, she was 26 years old when they made it. Like, why? Why do you need a documentary? But I was like, you know what? I'll give it a fighting chance because maybe it will reveal something about her. Because for me, I feel like with Taylor, the reason I don't connect with her personally is she seems too perfect, right? She just seems like she's got her shit together. She's never done anything wrong. So I was like, well, maybe in the documentary, it will reveal something about her that I didn't know. Like maybe she has like some ugly tattoo on her left thigh, right? Like maybe she made a mistake once in her life. So in the documentary, I thought maybe there'll be something, we learn. And first, there's one revelation where she gets kind of emotional and she goes, I realize, this is hard for me to say, but I realize that sometimes I don't eat. And And we're like, we know, Taylor. This isn't news. Like, we've been watching you since you were 16. We don't think you've eaten since, you know? Like, that's not a revelation. And then the next revelation I actually thought was kind of like a little bit deeper, which is she said, you know, I've been performing my whole life, so I've sought validation from the outside world. I've never really gotten in touch with who I really am. And now I realize what really matters are friends and family. And I was like, wow, that's actually really genuine and real. Like, that was a good growing moment. But then she has one glass of wine with a friend, but it looked like the friend was hired to play the friend because they didn't speak at all. I was like, this poor girl got hired to play the friend. She didn't even get any lines. I was like, that sucks for that girl, you know? And then the next scene is she gets on the phone with her agent when she finds out she wasn't nominated for any Grammys, right? And this is like a pinnacle moment. Like, this is a very important moment in the whole documentary because everything kind of culminates to this moment. She gets on the phone, she wasn't nominated for Grammy, and she's like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna write the best song ever! And then she does, and then she goes to the top of the charts and she gets everything she ever wanted. And I was like, whoa. Wait a second. I thought this was a moment where you're supposed to be like, it doesn't matter. None of this is real. What matters is the people that I love. What matters is getting in touch with who I am. I'm gonna go on a silent yoga retreat with my mother. I'm gonna get rid of all of my material wealth. You know, and I'm really gonna get in touch with what really matters. I'm gonna go live on a farm for a year. Like, that's what that moment should have been. But instead, it's like, I'm gonna write the best song ever. She does. It's like, I don't know what the turning point is, right? I don't know what the growth is. And all I'm saying, when all is said and done, I just feel like a documentary is something you need to earn. Right? Like, exactly. Like Amy Winehouse earned her documentary. She lived for it, she died for it, she deserves it, and it's a really, really good one. So that's the one I would suggest you watch. There are too many documentaries about alive people. Pick any dead person, right? Why are we making documentaries about alive people? Go live your life, go have a career. We'll watch the documentary when you're dead, right? That being said, if anyone wants to make a documentary about my life, I think we'd have some pretty interesting stories because I've had at least as many bad breakups, if not more, than Taylor. Yeah, I have. I don't know why. You know, it's like I want to find love, but it feels like it's hard to find, you know? And I keep having these sort of like, oh, it's maybe, no, it's not. You know, maybe, no. And I fall for narcissists a lot. I went out with this one guy who was such a narcissist. He really said this to me once. He was like, I love you more than you love me because I love myself so much. You need to love yourself more so that you can love me more. And I was like, actually, I think we both need to love you less. Because the more I love you, the more I hate myself for loving a guy who loves himself so much. I think another clue that your romance might be on the outs is I think it starts to sizzle the second you start taking off your own clothes. Right? If you're not laughing, you're worried, by the way. You're like looking at each other like, are we done? Is it over? Because in the beginning, it's so exciting, right? When it's new and fresh, it's like, you know, you're tearing off each other's clothes, you're making a mess, you're pushing each other up against walls, consensually, hopefully. And then gradually over time, you don't see it coming, but it happens very slowly. You find yourself politely taking off your shirt and folding it and putting it on your side of the bed. And then he takes off his shirt and his Invisalign and puts it on his side of the bed. Then you get under the covers, you turn out the lights, and you're like, why are you Googling Brita filters? I thought you found one you liked. And he's like, I had a coupon. And you're like, I guess I'll put my clothes back on. And he's like, I didn't even notice they were off. And you're like, it's over. It's over. So I guess the point is, maybe you guys should all start taking your clothes off right now. Yeah, it's that kind of show. They're like, we already did a long time ago. First joke in, we were naked. Our breakup was interesting because he was competitive with me. That was a problem we had. So one time, just out of the blue, he goes, you're not smarter than me. And I was like, it's actually smarter than I am. And then he said, well, between you and I finished college and you didn't. And I was like, it's actually between you and me. And then he said, you and I are done. And I was like, you got that one right. I think another problem in relationships is people don't want to commit anymore, right? People are so scared of commitment. And I don't think commitment is such a complicated thing. We make it so complicated, but like, how many people, you can't see each other here, but you guys probably went to the grocery store today or a park. How many people did you see? Those are the two places, right? We're allowed to go to a park or a grocery store, and that's where you meet people now. Anyway, so if you guys were at the store today, I'm sure you saw a lot of people walking by, looking at the cereal or whatever. And let's say, how many people did you actually want to see naked? Right? How many? My guess is not that many. My guess is maybe one, maybe another you were curious about. So say a miracle happens and the person that you want to see naked in the park also wants to see you naked. I mean, that's pretty miraculous, right? The same person. And then say you do all the steps to get to that place. Like you buy tickets for a comedy show. You go to listen to a girl talk about herself for an hour. Then, you go to another location. You say all the right things. You get the person to take their clothes off. You finally get to that miraculous point where you get to see each other naked, and then another miracle happens and you like what you see. Do you really have to be like, I just want to see if like another miracle happens tomorrow? Like, no, just find someone you like to see naked and then just keep seeing each other naked until you don't want to see each other naked anymore. Right? That's love. It's that simple. Yeah, do it. Get naked. Come on. I also think the friend zone thing is a complicated thing, right? A lot of people get friend zoned, and I think it's because women have a very sophisticated way of friend zoning, right? We friend zone by asking for favors, right? We'll be like, can you help me move? Will you put together my IKEA furniture? Will you pick me up at the airport? And a man friend zones by sleeping with you. So we're always confused, right? Because a guy is like, I picked her up at the airport. Why won't she sleep with me? And a woman is like, I slept with him. Why won't he pick me up at the airport? So now I've decided I'm just never going to sleep with anyone again, so at least I always have a ride to the airport. I just ended a 5-month one-night stand. Thank you. If you don't know what that is, it's a one-night stand that goes on for 4 months and 29 days too long. And we just figured out we wanted different things, right? Like I wanted a real relationship. I wanted commitment. I wanted love. And he wanted to be a pirate. And you might think I'm kidding, but that's really what he said. He's like, I just want to be a pirate. I just want to hang out with other pirates and like sail the seas and be like a pirate. And I was like, well, that's great because my 5-year-old nephew also wants to be a pirate. So the two of you could play pirate together, and that would be fun. Or you could grow up because you're 50 years old, and maybe it's time to dock your ship and commit to something once in your life, you know, but one or the other. He was an actor. He was a very successful actor, and I would definitely suggest if you date an actor, date a bad one, because the good ones are too sneaky. They're very, very sneaky. And also, if a guy plays a nerd on TV, he's a player in real life. And if he plays a player, he's a psychopath. And this guy was such a good actor, but he once acted in the worst scene I've ever seen. I'm going to act it out for you guys now, because you can watch, but pay attention, because this really happened, and it's kind of crazy. So I took a nap at his place, and I left my rings on his bedside table, because I always wear these rings. I didn't want to sleep in my rings. I wake up, and the rings are gone. I was like, what? That's weird. I just took a nap. I was like, I think I was wearing them. So I went to find him, and I was like, hey, have you seen my rings? They were just right on the bedside table. And he was like, no. And I was like, that wasn't very convincing. I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yes. What do you want to do today? And I was like, I want to find my rings. So I went back into his room. I was like, they were right here. They were right on the bedside table. Have you seen them? And then he was like, maybe the cleaning lady came. I was like, the cleaning lady came? I was like, this script makes no sense. Like, the cleaning lady came while I was taking a nap and moved them, like in the past hour? And then he just kind of gave up, and he like pulls out a drawer and he takes out the rings and he goes, are these them? And I was like, yes. And then I was like, why did you hide my rings from me? Did you think they were somebody else's? And he was like, no. And he walks away. And I was like, yes, you did. You thought they were somebody else's rings. You thought you were being really sneaky, hiding them from me while I was sleeping, like Princess and the Pea. When really, you just majorly fucked up. And then I just got crazy, and I was like, were you just playing pirate? Were you playing pirate? Do you want me to draw a treasure map and we can go hunting for the missing treasure together? Would that be fun? Actually, I was looking up because he's really tall, so I was like, would that be fun? Yeah? And then I just realized in that moment, I was like, this is the furthest away I will ever be in my life from being proposed to. Right? Like, this is the quintessential opposite of a guy getting down on his knee, being like, you are the love of my life. Here's a diamond ring. Will you marry me? Is a guy hiding my H&M rings from me because he thought they were another wench's rings. Thank you. Listen, it was my own fault because there were so many clues, right? There were so many, like, huge clues that I was just like, that's interesting. And one of them was, he once told me, he was like, you know, you're not the only one mad at me. And I was like, the only thing worse than finding out a guy is sleeping with other women is finding out he's fighting with other women. Right? Because that's like a commitment. That means he's like seeing other people. It's not like, you don't have like a one fight stand. You don't just fight with someone the first night you meet them. So that was one clue. Another clue is his doorman told me, he goes, you're special. I've seen you before. Yeah, I don't need to explain that one, right? And then the other thing that happened was kind of weird, was it was Christmas Eve, and he decided he wanted an osteopath to come over. And he pretended it was a big gift for me when really he just wanted an osteopath. And he was like, oh, I'll give you an osteopath, but I'm also going to have the osteopath. We're both going to have the osteopath. If you don't know what an osteopath is, it's like a masseuse who never made it, right? It's basically this guy who comes over and he just taps you. He taps on you for like an hour. Just tap, 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 tap. And you're like, why is this guy? This is annoying. This is annoying. I don't want to be tapped on, right? And so he's tapping on me. And then halfway through the massage, I realize, oh, he's doing like Morse code. Like this is like, he's like helping. He's like, run, 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 get away. This guy's not good for you. Leave, you idiot. I was like, and I wake up and I was just like, I'm done. And I just left. I was like, I'm gone. It's over. And I realized, I was like, this was just such a bad gift. It was Christmas Eve. Like, I was like, I gave this guy my heart and he gave me an osteopath. Like, that's not equal. You know, at least get me another ring. Anyway, so it ended pretty, you know, it ended abruptly. I just sort of stopped talking to him. But a couple months later, he wanted to talk and have a conversation. And I was like, okay, you know, I don't want any bad blood, so I'll talk to him one last time for closure, right? But I was like, how do I explain to a 50-year-old going on 5-year-old wannabe pirate that this isn't gonna work for me, right? And so this is the best way I could articulate it, okay? I said, listen, I'm an all or nothing person, okay? And you're a nothing person. And in order to date you, I would also have to be a nothing person. But I would rather be an all person than a nothing person. So you can take all of your nothing and give it to somebody else, because I'm gonna hold out for an all person to give my everything to. Since I have nothing left to lose, you have nothing left to give, and I have nothing left to say. And then he was like, so should I not pick you up at the airport? So I dodged that bullet. That's what people say. I don't understand this expression, dodged a bullet. Like, people always say when you get out of a bad relationship, they're like, you really dodged that bullet. And I'm like, I thought dodging a bullet was like the bullet comes at you and then you jump out of the way and then it hits something else, right? Isn't that dodging a bullet? But I didn't think it was like the bullet comes inside of you and then you fall in love with the gun. Like maybe surviving a bullet. I don't think it's dodging one. I love when one car starts it and then and then it's very confusing. It's like it's like an applause break that doesn't quite catch on. Each car for himself. I think with dating it's complicated because like I don't want to do online dating apps, right? Because I feel like people on those apps are on there because they want to meet other people. And I don't really want to meet people who want to meet other people, right? I want to meet people who don't want to meet other people. Then they meet me who also doesn't want to meet other people. Then we fall in love the old-fashioned way, you know, totally by accident. We're both least expecting it. We both have been too hurt to possibly love again, but we fall in love despite ourselves. Then we get married. Then we have 3 kids. Then we get a divorce and live happily ever after. That's the kind of real love I want. I did meet a guy in real life once. It was kind of a funny story because I went to the bookstore and I saw one of these books, like these self-help books, and it was called The Struggle is Real. Right? And on the cover was this hot guy, like with like cool tattoos and like, you know, cool horn-rimmed glasses. And I was like, really? The struggle is real for that guy? Like, what did he have to struggle with? Like, did they put 2% in his oat milk latte once? Like, did his bird scooter run out of battery? Like, I don't understand what this guy ever struggled with. So I made fun of it. I was like with a friend and I was kind of roasting it for a while. And then I went and did some shows in Minnesota. And after one of my shows, this guy came up to me after, and he was kind of cute, and he was like, hey, you know, do you want to get a drink? You were really funny. And I was like, sure. So we got a drink, and we had a really good time. And then we got excited, and we friended each other on all the social media platforms. and I saw that it was the struggle is real guy. I was like, what? This is crazy. So then like over a course of a couple weeks, we were flirting, you know, and he was like liking my posts on Twitter, and he was like watching my Instagram stories and like texting me, and like we were doing all the different things, right? It was like, whoa, we really like each other. And we were gonna meet up and everything. But then over some time, he kind of stopped texting me as much, but he was still like liking my tweets and watching my stories. And then he stopped tweeting altogether and stopped texting, but he was still watching my stories. So I was like, okay, we're still together, you know? But then he just stopped all of it, just cold turkey. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird, right? Like I thought we had something, we had chemistry. So then I did a little research. It's called research when you know the person. Stalking is if you don't know them. So I did some research, and I found out he was on a podcast, and on this podcast he said that some girl slid into his DMs, and I was like, well, I didn't slide into his DMs, so that wasn't me. So I texted him, I was like, you know, you could have told me you met somebody, you know, it's cool, it's fine, we only had a drink, but, you know, you could have told me, and he's like, I didn't meet anyone, I was a fucking liar, you know, so whatever. And so then I unfollowed him, I unfriended him, you know, I stopped texting, and then he unfollowed me and unfriended me, and I was like, well, that's very immature, you know. And then I was like, I felt so hurt, right? Because I was like, I feel really rejected, and I don't understand why. So I have to learn something from this, right? Because I only had one drink with this guy, so I don't understand why I feel so upset about it. It really seems a little unfounded. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know, I realize the two things I learned from this experience are, one is, if you do get to meet someone in real life, don't friend each other on all the social media platforms, right? Because it's just a way to be rejected on all the social media platforms. Like, it's like so many different ways to be rejected. You're like rejected on Twitter, rejected on Instagram, rejected. So I was like, I'm never doing that again, right? If I meet someone, I'm just gonna be like, we are not social media friends. It's never happening. And the other takeaway was, I was like, you can actually judge a guy by his book cover. So I learned, you know? You gotta learn.
Yes.
I want to bring back this invention that I think is a great invention. It's called the period. Do you guys remember this perfect, it was this perfect little dot. It was about this big, and we used to use it to end a sentence, and more importantly, a conversation. Do you guys remember? We used to use it. It was perfect. I loved this little thing. So, you know, because you used to be able to text a friend, see you tomorrow, period, and then you would see her tomorrow, right? That's how it should be. But now I text a friend, see you tomorrow, period, and she texts me back a heart. Well, I can't just leave a dangling heart, right? Because I'm not an asshole. So fine, I'll reciprocate the heart with a heart, right? So now she does a heart, I do a heart. Are we happy now? Can I see you tomorrow now? No. Now she has to double up her hearts. Okay, so now she does 2 red hearts, I have 1 red heart, and now I have to double up my hearts, but now I'm gonna, you know, sift through to find a different color heart just to be unique and different, right? So now I'm sifting through and I find 2 yellow hearts. Okay, 2 yellow hearts, 2 red hearts. Are we happy? Can I see you tomorrow now? No. Now she has to do heart, heart, unicorn. Fine, I'll play. You want to do that game? Okay, fine. I'll do heart, heart, turtle, because I feel like a turtle is worth as much as a unicorn and is a little underappreciated, right? So now she's done heart, heart, unicorn. I've done heart, heart, turtle. Is that enough? Can I see you tomorrow now? No. Now she has to like my heart, heart, turtle. We are liking likes now. A heart is a like. How much liking do we need to feel loved and validated and appreciated in this world? Now we are in a vortex of liking. I'm liking her heart, heart, unicorn. She's liking my heart, heart, turtle. We're liking. And now I've almost killed someone because obviously I'm texting and driving. Because we would rather die and kill another person than just end a sentence with a fucking period. Now I'm at a point where if a guy texts me with a period, Like if he uses a period and doesn't do anything else after, I get physically turned on. I'm like, wow, that's a man who knows how to end things. Or pick up the phone, you know, guys who pick up the phone really have a leg up, you know, because nobody does that anymore. So if a guy calls you, it's kind of like, whoa, this is interesting. I met a guy on Twitter recently, which I thought was okay because it's like I wasn't looking, you know. He slid into my DMs and we were sort of messaging for a long time, and then we started FaceTiming. But there's a new thing happening now, I feel, because of all the Me Too stuff, where guys are actually being creepier by not being creepy. Which is honestly starting to creep me out more than when they were just creeps, right? Because we used to know where they were. We'd be like, there's a creep, there's a creep. Now they're all like, I'm not a creep. I respect women. I respect you. And we just don't know where they are, right? They're all in hiding. So anyway, this guy and I started FaceTiming, and he didn't live in LA, which was perfect. I was like, I don't want a guy who lives anywhere near here, no offense. But you know, he was very nice and we were talking all the time, but it was starting to creep me out that he wasn't being creepy. I was like, this is kind of creepy, right? So finally I said to him, I was like, I don't really know what you want from me. And he was like, I just want to know how you're doing. And I was like, nobody wants to know how anybody is doing. Like, are you going to ask to see a boob or not? Right? Like, that's how dating used to be. And by used to, I mean like 3 years ago. You would text a guy a bunch of times, and then he'd be like, can I see a boob? And then you determine whether he deserves to see a boob or doesn't deserve to see a boob. You know, usually not, but maybe on special occasions. And yes, I start with one. I'm not going to just come out and show both at the same time because, you know, I hold out. So he said to me, he's like, well, you don't strike me as the type of girl who would like it if a guy just asked to see her boob. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm not that type of girl, but you have to be a little creepy so I can be all coy and taken aback, right? Like, you have to push the envelope a little so I can be like, what? And then he started negotiating. He's like, well, technically I did ask to see your dress at one point. And I was like, a girl would ask to see my dress. Like, that doesn't count, right? And he's like, well, I did see your shoulder once. I was like, my shoulders are out all the time. Like, that's not sexual. And then he just got so fed up with me. He was like, listen, if you want to show me your boob, just show me your boob. And I was like, I am not that kind of girl. Like, I don't know where you got that from. I don't know what other girls you're talking to online who would just come out and show you a boob just because you asked, but frankly, that's not me. I'm very offended that you would think of me that way, and you've really crossed a line. And he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I was like, well, you did. You really did. But then I said, but do you feel you understand me a little bit better now? Do you feel like you get how my mind works, how I analyze situations? And he was like, 100%, Erica, 100%. And I was like, wow, that's evolved, right? Like, he really listened to me, thought about what I had to say. I was like, maybe there's a real connection here, right? Maybe there's a real connection. But I'm still gonna get off the phone because I feel pretty shaken by that question you asked me. And I politely got off the phone, I said goodnight, and I never heard from him again. And I was like, exactly. Just another creepy guy with one thing on his mind. So it's tough, right? It's tough to find love. Like, if you found it, you should be really grateful, I think. And I think it's hard to connect. Like, it's interesting. You can feel connection here, right? Like, even though I can't see all of you, I feel that human connection, which I think we need, right? We need that more than ever now, because people are so angry online. They'll write these things online, and then you see them in real life, and you're like, are you okay? And they're like, yeah, why? And you're like, did you see what you wrote? Like, you were having a panic attack, and they're like, oh yeah, I just got it out of my system. And you're like, well, now it's in my system. So, like, maybe don't write that at all. And I was in New York recently, and there's this beautiful moment on the subway when everybody loses cell phone reception, right? And you just sort of pick a partner, and you just stare at that partner for like 15 stops, right? Or until someone gets off the train. or both. You don't know. You don't know what happened. You just know you made a connection. It feels nice, right? You feel warm inside. So I had that beautiful connection, and then I went and I got pizza in the West Village, and it was a tiny pizza place, and this small. And remember back in the day when you brushed shoulders with somebody and nobody pulled away? You were just like, oh, I guess we're cuddling now. I guess we're really in this together. So I brushed shoulders with this guy, and then there was only one empty seat in the whole place after I sat down. So the same guy, sat down in the empty seat, and we just ate our pizza in total silence, just staring into each other's eyes until we finished our pizza. Then we both got up, threw away our paper plates, went our separate directions without saying a word. And I was like, that was the best date I've been on in 10 years. Nobody said anything dumb. It lasted the perfect length of time, and we never have to see each other again. And I was like, that's love. That's the kind of love I'm looking for. I feel like I didn't really do my job tonight unless I get most of you laid. So, you guys want to get laid? I hope my set was so sexual that you guys already got laid in the back seats. That was my personal goal for the night. There was one quiet moment. I think that's what was happening. Anyway, my advice, I'm just going to end with some advice to the men. I'm just going to say, if you want to get laid tonight, or if you want to just make your woman happy, or the woman that you know happy. Not your woman. Who am I? What am I talking about? Your woman. I sound like the most sexist person here. Anyway, if you want to make somebody happy, whoever you're with, just turn to them and say, Jenny or Hillary or Christina, whatever their name is, say, Jenny, you look so beautiful tonight. I am so lucky to be spending an evening with you. And then just shut up forever. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's so simple. You can do it tonight, and I hope you get laid. Thank you so much. You've been wonderful. Thank you.